All right, so I think the easy fix was about the format. So somebody asked that the accounting format wasn't there, so and that was in the chat. So if you right click and go to format, are you saying that you didn't see this accounting option right here? Let me see, who was it that said that?
I think her name is Mackenzie.
Yeah, Mackenzie Bartley. Yeah, it's not showing up.
I don't know.
Um,
MacBook and Chrome are like definitely different. They're a little weird.
right. So, right, yeah, I agree. It's presenting a little bit of a problem. Ms. Bartley, what type
Hmm.
of computer do you have? Does it have anything to do with Apple?
Yeah, right.
No,
A
hers
Dell
is a Dell.
laptop.
Okay. So do you see these other options like general, number, currency, Ms. Bartley?
Let me see.
Okay, and you said accounting is not showing up. Okay, let me as a matter of fact, when you get a chance, shoot me a screenshot of this
Okay.
in an email so I can see what options are showing up. So basically, what I need is a screenshot. Or you can take a picture with your phone and send it to me, whichever way. So you tell me when you right click on it and do format cells and you're under number. Let me see what options you have available to you, and then we'll work it from there. So shoot me that email as soon as you get a chance, Ms. Bartley. All right. And I didn't catch who was talking to me before, the guy's voice that resonated throughout the
Oh,
room.
Cameron.
There you go. All right, gotcha, sir. All right, so now what was your issue?
When I go up there, like it'll tell me it'll download like the documents, and instead of seeing what you're seeing right now on the screen, I
Mhm.
just see like one little column, and it'll be like go down to like number 7 or 9. I don't see all. I seen that screen you just went to. I
Uh-huh.
could go to that one, but this one on the screen right now, I don't be seeing it.
And you hit the tab that says questions down here.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Okay, I ask you to do the same thing. Shoot me a screenshot or take a picture of what you see when you hit that questions tab.
Okay.
Then, because it might be, just an individual issue that I may have to run past the coordinator and see what, because I don't understand why you wouldn't see it.
Right.
So, yeah, so take a picture of that and shoot it to me so I can try to see what's good. Also, in both
All
of
right.
your emails, tell me what type of computer you have so I can see, if that has anything to do with it or whatever. So, what kind of computer you're using.
Okay.
From there. Other questions, concerns about the Excel. I know Ms. Ross, we got to check on this Chromebook thing.
Yeah,
I
I'm
have a
actually on
question.
Apple right now, seeing if I can download Excel. Honestly,
Okay. Yeah,
that
because
can
I
go.
was looking at, and I heard another voice. Give me 1 second. I was looking it up this morning, and it said something about downloading
Yeah.
Word file or Word and Excel onto the Chromebook, but I still don't know
Yeah.
if it's the same thing. That's what I was going to ask the coordinator before I actually told you guys to try that out. But when I Googled, can you download an Excel file on a Chromebook? It talked
Right.
about, yeah, that you can download the Word app and the Excel app. So maybe that's something that we may have to try.
Yeah.
He said, I have a MacBook and I can't do anything. That is awesome.
MacBooks are kind of fussy. Like they're just weird. You'd think they would work like that, but they require so many different things and apps, and you're like, wait, what?
Right.
Can't you just work like a normal computer?
No, I wouldn't say you, Latara. Am I saying that? Hopefully, I'm saying that right. You're not slow. We all trying to figure this thing out, and it
Oh
would
yeah,
be a
yeah,
lot
for
easier if I
sure.
was, huh?
No, yeah, she's on the same page as
Yeah,
everybody for sure.
yeah. It would be a lot easier if I could see you guys, and for some reason, it just face to face thing would just be a little easier because then you could bring your computer to class and all the stuff like that.
No, definitely.
I know there was somebody else that was starting to speak.
Yeah,
Uh,
I have a question. It's just about assignment due dates
uh-huh.
because on Canvas I don't see any due dates, and also on my math lab I don't see any due dates for our assignments.
Hmm.
I don't know if I missed that part of the conversation at some point, but how do I know when like assignments are due?
Shoot, man, we trying to figure out how can we just submit assignment. You trying
For real.
to?
I hope to God you don't put in a due date tomorrow because I'm like, shoot,
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with this Excel.
I'm trying to get people to submit one assignment, and
Yeah, I was like,
yeah,
yep.
I just feel like if I put a due date up there right now, it'll be more problematic than it will
Yeah.
be resolute. You know what I mean? So right now there isn't a due date. As soon as we can get everybody flowing, then we'll look to put a due date out there. Um, but because there isn't a due date set, then I'll, for those who can work, go ahead and do what you can do and start knocking this stuff out because a due date is coming at some point. I just want to make sure that everybody's equipped to be able to, submit accordingly. And so that's what I'm working on now. So that's why I haven't put a due date up. We also have regular assignments, that even if you can't do the Excel assignments, there are regular assignments that are able to be completed. So maybe right now, until we get this thing figured out, you can just go and do the regular homework assignments. And so I'll show you what I mean. Let me share my screen. So Ms. River, was that good? Did I cover your question?
Yeah, I just didn't want to like get lost with like assignments and stuff or like forget anything.
Right.
That's why I was just wondering if there were due dates and I just wasn't seeing them.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. Like I said, I knew that there were issues with downloading and everything like that. That's why I haven't said anything yet. But we most definitely will have some due dates eventually. Just trying to make this thing happen for you guys. All right, so let me do this. All right, so sharing, this is the homework. So notice we have these Excel assignments, those are the issues. But the regular assignments like section 1.1, section 1.2, section 1.3, those are the things that we know that we can do without any Excel interference. So at least knock those out and we'll figure this Excel thing out eventually. Yeah, and there are only 3 sections in chapter 1, you know, 3 homework sections in chapter 1, and then we're done with chapter 1. You have I believe you have a quiz, yeah, chapter 1 quiz right here. And then we'll be looking to chapter 2, but of course we're not going to jump into chapter 2 till we figure out this Excel stuff. But yeah, so if nothing else, if you can't download Excel, go ahead and do your homeworks. Get started on the homeworks. Last class we talked about some of the topics on the homeworks. We'll do some more of that today as well. But yeah, so just throwing it out there. Don't do what you can do until we figure out what this other stuff, the roadblock with this other stuff. So before I do anything else, questions on anything that I may be able to answer, whether it be a sale question or not. Okay, so let's look at 1.2 and 1.3. And of course, when it comes to Excel thing, I'm gonna be doing some research on my end. Do some on your end as well. See if there is an app like one of your classmates was mentioning. If there is an app that will help you or enable you to be able to download. With the pandemic, can't say go to the library or anything like that. So I mean, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tight on what we can say because truth be told, just throwing it out there, if we were in class setting or face to face, then the option would be to go to the school library or something like that. So you would have that at your disposal. But
I
since
think public libraries are open.
yeah, they are, but I don't think we can recommend going to a public place. You know what I mean? Because that's the only reason we are where we are now. You know what I mean? So and I thought about that, but then I thought about the fact that I can't, because of the whole situation with the pandemic. We're supposed to be able to, we're supposed to be implementing the idea of staying as far away from everybody as possible.
Right.
So yeah, so even recommending that would be kind of, I guess, counterproductive to the idea of us even being in this virtual setting itself. So
one thing that helps me with Excel is YouTube videos. when I got certified for them, I lived on YouTube just going through the videos, having people explain the stuff. That's what really helped me.
Gotcha. And I think that's a great idea. I think, but some of your classmates can't even get the file. You know what I mean? I think that's their issue because of the type of device that they have.
Yeah.
On the Microsoft, this is Reginald Scott, by the way. On the Microsoft, where you get the Microsoft for free for TCC, on that web page, I'm on Mac, so I was having a little bit of a hard time. I just went on the web page and I used the online, like their Excel, like on the My Microsoft website. That might work for you guys as well if you try it out. I don't know.
Okay.
Did
That's a
you do
good idea.
Google Docs?
No. On the Microsoft page, it's actually Excel, like the website they have for free Microsoft Office.
Okay. I'm gonna go look right now.
Okay, that's a good idea. I hadn't even thought about doing that.
Me either.
So, and for you guys access that through TCC's homepage or through Canvas or whatever when you log on to SIS.
I think it's the TCC homepage.
Okay. All right, I'll check that out as well. But we'll figure it out, guys. We will figure it out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just like tripping a little bit about it because all I see on my homework and assignments is Excel. I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
So I don't want to but I'm sure we'll get it down. I mean, this whole semester's getting there. So
Right.
just different, period. So we're adjusting to all of us being in each other's homes and stuff. We're like, so.
Exactly.
So
I have a question on the homework. I think it was 1-1.
Okay.
The homework functions.
Okay.
So when I was going through the homework, if I got one wrong, I would redo it. But then if it still marked me wrong, I would ask for similar questions at the same exact question, and the answers that were right before were wrong this time.
Was there a number, just like one number different or something like that?
No, it was yes or no.
Okay. Well, shoot me an email with the problem that you want me to take a look at.
I took screenshots, so I'll send you everything.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and I'll take a look at it and see, what the issues are with that. And we'll go from there. Not a big deal. We'll make it happen. All right.
So we're still focusing on chapter 1 right now, right?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure for the book as well.
So let's take a picture of this so I don't have to keep going back. Hold on, course coordinator. All right, so I gotta. All right, so in section 1.2, we had talked about some of it last class. So I guess we'll finish it off today. One thing they do in here is solving equations. They don't spend much time on it. It's one of those things that they expected you to have, done before you got into this class. So we'll run through a few of them, making sure we're okay. See if you have any questions on that. If you have 2x plus 1 equals 7 and you want to solve for x, the most efficient move. And the reason why I say most efficient is because you could go another way. Don't forget, whenever you're trying to solve, you're going to do what I call opposite operations. Addition and subtraction are opposite operations. Multiplication and division are opposite operations. They undo what the other one does. You want to solve for x. That means you want to have x equal to whatever number that we have. That means you need to get x by itself. So if you want to get x by itself, you need to undo what's being done to x. So you have 2 times x plus 1. So first thing that you should do is to go ahead and subtract 1. And don't forget you have an equal sign, which separates your equation, left side and right side according to your equal sign. And whatever you do to one side of your equation or one side of your equal sign, you have to do to the other in order to keep your equivalency. So I subtracted 1 from both sides of the equal sign. That leaves me with 2x equals 6. And then, since that's 2 times x, I will divide by 2. 2's cancel. I didn't mean to do that anyway. X is equal to 3. Mm-hmm. And if you need, more background work on that or those type of problems, I have plenty of videos that I've done with other classes, going through solving from beginning to end and all the good stuff like that. So just let me know. I can shoot you those links. Here we want to solve for y. 3y plus 6 equal to 2y minus 5. We want to get y by itself. We want a single y, just like we had this single x. We want a single y term, but don't forget, don't forget, take note that we have y in 2 different places in this equation. So your goal here should be to get all of your terms with y to one side, all of your terms without y to the other side. Doesn't matter which term you move first. If you stay correct with your mathematics, you still get the right answer eventually. So what I mean by that is you have 3y, 6, 2y, and negative 5. And so you have 4 different terms that you can move. It just doesn't matter which one you move first, as long as you do it correctly. So if I want to move my y term, my 2y, to the other side of my equation, I need to subtract the whole 2y from both sides. 3y minus 2y is 1y. Also, don't forget 1y is equal to y. So any number that's sitting by itself, they assume there's a 1 sitting in front of it. So that's 3y minus 2y, which is 1y, plus 6 equal to negative 5. Now subtract 6. Y is equal to negative 11. All right. All right, here, x over 5, or x divided by 5, plus 3 equal to 7. So subtract 3 from both sides. X over 5 is equal to 4. So now we have x divided by 5. And so like I said, we're talking about the order, not order of operations, the opposite operation of division is multiplication. So we'll multiply both sides by 5. X is equal to 20. All right. Do one more. We're going to see many of them in there. So 6x plus 1 equal to 4x plus 41. All right. So I'll go the other way. So last time I moved the term that was on the right to the left. So I'll take one to the left, move it to the right. Once again, as long as you stay correct with your math, answers still come out to be the same. So I subtract the 6x from both sides. That'll leave me with 1 on the left. Negative 2x plus 41 on the right. Minus 41. That's negative 40 equal to negative 2x. Divide by negative 2. Negative 20 is equal to x. Questions on solving?
Question is when we got to 1 equals negative 2x plus 41, then we hit it with, we went on the outsides of negative 41 for the 1. How come we didn't do the 2x? Is it because it has the variable with it?
Right, because at this moment, so when you come or look at this equation right here,
yeah,
your goal should be to get all of your terms with x to one side, all of your terms without x to the other side. So when I go here, I have all of my x terms on one side, so that means I need to take now this 41 to the other side. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you always have to be left with one term, I assume. So it can be x equals whatever, right?
Yes, your goal is to get this x by itself, or whatever your variable is by itself on one side of the equation.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So if there's anything still attached to the x, or anything that's still on the same side as x, same thing as if I had negative a equal to 5. Let's say if I came down here, I still need to get rid of this negative.
Yeah.
By taking it over. And so that'd be a equal to negative 5.
Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely brought back memories for this. This is like 12th grade or something like that. I don't know.
Let's see. Other type of problem is like this.
And this is essentially kind of our homework for this week. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, for 1.2, coming out of 1.2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just take my video off, I guess.
Say that again?
No, I was like, let me take my video off, I guess. I'm done eating breakfast, so I guess now I'll try to. But okay, cool. This is our homework for this week.
So consider a home mortgage of $200,000 at a fixed rate of APR 4.5% for 30 years. Calculate the monthly payment. All right. I'll let you guys copy it down if you want, and then I'll go off that screen. I wish I could write down here. It would be cool. All right, can I go off the screen now? Go to the other one. All right, so let's try that one out. And, oh, let me look at something real quick. That was that formula. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. All right, so the formula we're going to use for this one. We want to calculate the monthly payment. Oh, so just in case, I guess I'll go back and read it just in case certain people didn't copy down. It says, consider a home mortgage for $200,000 at a fixed APR of 4.5% for 30 years. Calculate the monthly payment is the first question. So that's what we're looking at now. All right, so that's how we calculate the monthly payment. We got P times APR over N. Yeah, 1 over 1 minus 1 plus APR over N raised to the N times Y power. So we'll talk about what P, APR, and all those will be according to our problem. But let me give you guys a chance to write it. All right, let me go back and get our information. I know P is 200,000, 4.5, 30. All right, so just 200,000. And how many years? I think it was 30. All right, so that's what we're looking at. In this case, with the mortgage. So the $200,000 for us, that principal, or in this case was mortgage. APR, your annual percentage rate, is 4.5%. We're going to convert that to a decimal. I'm moving the decimal place 2 places to the left. 0.045. And a number of payments per year. So we're talking about monthly. So that'd be 12. And then 30, because we're looking at 30 years. 212, right? Yeah.
Is that someone's tea maker?
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, you what you guys hear, like some noises?
Yeah, I just thought it was like a tea maker that was like, oh, your tea's ready.
Oh, I think it's my son's teacher. That's what I hear.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. Upstairs. Plus, yep. Another room. I'm gonna bring this down here. Give me a second. I'm trying to write this stuff out. I ran out of room. Like that. And oh yeah, okay. All right. So you can put this formula, or not formula, yeah, formula, in a calculator like this, and it should work for you. So notice what we did in comparison to the formula. I put parentheses around all of this, so that's 200,000 times the 0.045 divided by 12. So I did it like that. Then on bottom, I put parentheses around all of this with the division sign in the middle. So always got to make sure you close out your parentheses. And so there's 1 minus 1 plus 0.045 divided by 12. Then I raise this to a power by using this symbol. And then there's negative n, which is 12 times y, which is 30. Then you close that parentheses and close it off. All right, I don't have my calculator, so I have to do it in pieces, but a calculator that I want anyway. Give me 1 second. And it's divided by 12. Sorry about this. I was doing it organically in front of you and didn't think about this formula taking this long to plug in. But almost finished. So close that off. Oh man, I did all that and this one doesn't have the exponent function. mess up. All right, I'll do this. All right, so the answer should be 10, 13, 37. All right. So make sure, bless you. So make sure you know how to use your calculator. I made a mistake and left mine in my other bag. It must be in the other bag. And I'm not gonna go get it in the middle of class, so we'll be all right. But make sure you can put that in your calculator accordingly and get that number of 10, 13, 37. All right, let's see. It was A, B, and C. Determine the total amount. So we calculated the monthly payment here. In B, they want us to determine the total amount paid. All right, determine the total amount paid over the term of the loan. So we're going to take that. So we have 10, 13, 37, which is that monthly payment. And we're going to do that 12 times for 30 years. So I can put that in the calculator. All right. Problems with that? All right. Let's see. I think there was another one. Paid. What percentage is paid to us? All right. So C. The total amount paid, what percentage paid towards the principal, what percentage paid towards interest. Yeah, I guess I should have left that. Got a little sloppy there. Sorry about that. So over the total amount paid, what percent is paid towards the principal and what percent is paid towards the interest? All right. So first we need to establish how much is your interest, how much is your principal. We already know the principal was 200,000. All right, like this. I didn't mean to do that. Interest would be taking that total amount we just calculated, which is 364,813.20, and subtracting 200,000 from it. And then we would take each one of those values, talking about for the principal, we use this one. For the interest, we'll use this one, and place it over the total amount. So the principal, the percent of the total amount paid that went to the principal would be 200,000 over that 364,813.2, and then percent. Now I'm going to calculate it in a second, but just writing this one out. Percent that you're paying to your interest is that 164,813.2 divided by 364,813.2. All right, that's how you would do that. And my math lab will let you know how many decimal places they want, stuff like that. Questions on the process?
You're just dividing essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if it tells you whatever decimal place to go over, then.
Right. And if they want the answer in percentage, you take your decimal 2 places to.
You said 10 places?
2.
Okay.
Yeah, so if they want this answer in percentage, you take your decimal 2 places. Well, it'll let me write. What's going on here? All right. 2 places to the right. And that's how I got to 54.82.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, let me look. Amount paid over the loan. I don't need that answer. All right. Total amount paid, round to one decimal place as needed. So they only want 54.8. So I'll make sure to put that in the calculator. Not calculator, put it in my math lab to make sure. Yeah. So they wanted 54.8 and 45.2. But just watch the directions. Make sure that you adhere, because if they decide to put 3 decimal places, and they ask you for that, then you should be okay with doing that as well. So.
Okay.
I had started that homework. Could you go to problem 17 on that one? I was having problems with that one. I was stuck on that one.
Okay, someone needs to borrow $10,000. Affordable. Offers a 3-year loan. So, was there something in particular that got you stuck?
Yes, because when it says the bank offers a 4-year loan at 6 and percentage rate, a 5-year loan at 6.5, or a 6-year loan at 7%. When you go to on question B, it says the first loan best meets the person needs because the monthly payment of blank is less than the maximum budgeted amount of $225 per month. But wouldn't it be trying to go up type thing, like the annual percentage rate?
Well, you have to pick the right wording
Mm-hmm.
and then plug it in accordingly. Hold on, I don't think I'm sharing that screen. And mine may be worded a little different than yours, just because they always try to mix it up according to the different student that may have clicked on it. So your B may be different than my B. So basically, what you would do is calculate each one of them individually,
Mm-hmm.
and then see what statement, as far as A, B, C, or D, fits the findings that you calculated.
Oh, okay, all right.
You know what I mean? So you're not going to do one for A, do one for B, do one for C. You're going to pick one of those according to whatever you calculated. That you
Oh,
use the
all right.
formula. Yeah. So you use the formula. For anybody else, you would use the formula that we just used for each one of those scenarios. You have 3 different scenarios, 3 different banks, 8% APR at 3-year, 8.5% APR at 4-year, and then a 9% APR at 5-year. So you do each one of those individually, see which one of them meets your monthly payment, because you only can afford $225 per month, and then according to the wording. So if you look at the wordings, you can either click A, the third loan meets the person's needs because of the monthly payment buyout is less than $225. You won't know it until you actually calculate what the monthly payment would be. The second loan meets the person's budget, or the first loan meets the person's budget, or it's possible neither one of them meets the person's budget. So if all of them exceeds 225, then the answer would be D. All right. So everybody cool with that? Straight. Like I said, I try not to do all of y'all homework for y'all. All right. But try it out, and if we have to come back to it, we can. Yeah. So I will show you something out of 1-3. And let me stop this share. All right, so in 1.3, talk about tables and charts. So this one says rewrite the Excel formula after it has been moved as specified below. So let's go back to Excel. So it gives us C3 times B6 minus E5. So let's make sure we're okay with the format of Excel. So when you are going down in your rows, you're moving the numbers. When you're moving right or left, as far as your columns are concerned, you're moving letters. So everybody okay with that? The rows going up and down are the numbers. So if I go down 2 lines and I'm starting at 5, I'm going to end in 7. Or if I'm starting in E and I move to the right 2 spots, I'm going to be ending in G. So once again, moving right or left or moving your columns changes your lettering. Moving up or down your rows changes your numbers. All right, so let's go back. So the first one says go down 3 cells. So if I'm going down, I'm going to change my numbers. So that means C3 would go to C6, B6 would go to B9, E would go to 8, E5 would go to E8. Then the other one says move right 2 cells. So you're still starting from your original. You don't start with where you left off. You start from your original. You have C3, B6, E5. So I want to move to the right 2 cells. So if you have to do your fingers and sing your ABCs, whatever makes it work for you, you got C, D, E. So that means I should be E3. That's the only option down here that starts with E. So E3. So they didn't really try to make it hard because they really could have started 2 or 3 of them with E3. You know what I mean? But they didn't. The only one that goes to E3 is this right here. So talking about B, you're gonna go C, D, and then F, G. So it should be this one right here. So once again, up or down will adjust or move your numbers. Right and left will move your letters or change your letters. Up or down, shift your numbers. Right and left, shift your letters. Okay, let's look at this one. Write a short statement that expresses a possible relationship between the variables latitude, ocean temperature on a given day. So you read the options. As the latitude decreases, the ocean temperature on a day decreases. As the latitude decreases, ocean temperature on a given day increases. So first of all, the way you should look at these is that your first one is always your independent and your second is dependent. So that's how that's always, well, let me say that's how it's normally done. So let me write that. All right, so independent variable and your dependent variable. So what comes first is the one that can operate without the other one. And that second one depends on what the first one does. So let's see. So turn stove knob and then heat of stove, you could say as this increases, this increase, and let's see, as I turn to the right, maybe I should say as I turn to the right, but we talk about increasing and decreasing. So as I turn the stove knob up, the heat of my stove will go up. Or as I turn it down, the heat of my stove will go down. Now, all of them are not going to be increase. Some of them, they say as, let's say if I No, that's gonna be decrease as well. Anyway, let's just go back to the example. I'm making that stuff off the top of my head. But questions on what we're gonna do before we go back to the example. All right. All right. So the ones we should be looking at as options are B and C, because we're gonna say as the first one happens, then the other one occurs. So we're not looking at A and D as options unless they pull some okey doke on me. All right, so as the latitude decreases, the ocean temperature on a given day decreases. Latitude decreases. I'm not a map expert. I'm gonna go with that one. Let's see what happens. So yeah, so it was the other way around. So as the latitude decreases, the ocean temperature on a given day increases. All right. Like I said, I'm not a I'm not a latitude expert. I'm gonna be honest with you, I would have got that one wrong too. Because I'm, my latitude and longitude, I'm not an expert on that. But if you give me a math problem though, I'm all good. So but that's the process though. That's what that's the process that you go through when you're doing these problems. But you see what I mean as far as the relationship. There should be a relationship as the first one either increases or decreases. The second one would do either the increase or decrease. Let's see if I can get another one. Gas mileage of a car. Okay, I can do this one. Gas mileage of a car, cost of driving to a fixed distance. So once again, A and B wouldn't be an option because we're looking at C and D because that's the one that came first. So we're saying as the gas mileage decreases, the cost of driving a fixed distance should decrease as well. Gas mileage of a car decreases. Yep, got it wrong again. I'm gonna get it right one day though. Yeah, so there we go. So as the gas mileage of a car decreases, the cost of driving a fixed distance increases. Gas mileage decrease. Okay, but you see what we should be doing here. We're gonna look at that first one. As the first one occurs, what happens to the second one? And so as you get the hang of it, um, you know, your flow will get better. It'll make more sense to you. Let's see, consider the graph identified. There you go, going back to identifying the independent and dependent variables. So, and I can't write on the screen, so I'll go back to my notes. When you look at a graph, this is supposed to be the independent variable, and your vertical is supposed to be your dependent. Just like when you go back to your X and Y axis, your X are your independent variables, your Y are your dependent variables. All right, so let's go back to that. So as the year increases, the world population increases. So independent variable is year, population should be your dependent. So that's how that works. Domain of the function. We talked about domain in this class. I believe so. Yes, we talked about domain in this class. So domain, once again, we talked about how your domain are your x values, horizontal axis. So the domain of the function should be a years from the minimum value of, this is in billions. Let's see if they're gonna make me write billion. 2.5 to the maximum value of, oh, you know what? I'm looking at the wrong one. I was supposed to be looking at my horizontal axis. I was looking at my Y's. So that should be 1950. Because I wasn't looking at my years. And then 2000. And then the range, population, minimum value. Okay, round to the nearest integer as needed. Okay, so it's 0.5 in the middle. So I'm going to try 2.25 and see what happens. I know it says round to the nearest integer, but I just want to see what's going to happen. Okay. So let's try 2 then. Yeah, so you saw that. So make sure you take note. Even though this 2, when you look at y, is not at 2, but it says round to the nearest integer as needed. So you saw I purposely put in 2.25, or because we got 2 and halfway through is 2.5. Then you got 3 right here. I don't even know if y'all can see my icon. Let me do this. So if you look at the graph, you have 2, 3. It doesn't label 2.5, but that's where 2.5 is. But then that point though is like right here. So that's why I put 225, 2.25. And they didn't want that. They wanted you to round it to the nearest integer. So the nearest integer was 2. So when we go back to that screen, that's why I put 2 for that value. So just showing you different things that they're asking of you guys when you go about doing it. So the function shows that there is a relatively constant world population in 1950. Function shows a steady increase of population from 1950 to 2000. The rate of increased population increases. So the function shows that the rate of increase in population has been increasing since 1950. Yeah, so it should be D. Oh, guess not. Function shows that there has been relatively constant. So function shows a steady increase. Function shows that the rate of increase in population has been increasing since 1950. Let's just play with words. Anyway, so B was the function shows a steady increase from 1950 to 2000. So it was either going to be B or D. There's some wording in D that makes it a little funky. So it shows that the rate of increase in population has been increasing since 1950. And I guess the best description is B. But I can see how you would pick D, but they didn't want that. They wanted B. So once again, some of the things you may have to play around with to see what they actually want from you. But you see how the wording can be easily, manipulated or changed according to what they want. So 1.3 is about tables and charts. So here go another one talking about independent variable, dependent variable. So your independent should be your time, dependent temperature, domain, function over the course of the year, range of function temperature between 42, 39.85, domain, all days, certain days. Okay, so here they just, and really this section, if you look at the title, tables and charts. So it's really all about you reading these tables and charts accordingly. And so your independent variable is going to be your time. That's the one that's up here, January, February, March. Temperature is going to be the dependent variable. So in other words, January 1st, normally my time is what? Not my time, my temperature is what? Because it's January. My temperature is what? Because it's February. Temperature is what? Because of March, and so on. And then the domain would be, I'm seeing certain days here, not all days, because I see January 1st, February 1st, March 1st. And then the range of temperatures is going to be the smallest value, which is 39 degrees, to your largest value, which is 85 degrees in July. Coldest day was February 1st, which was 39. And then hottest day was July. So that's the type of stuff that you'll be doing in this section. As with all things, check them out. See if you get stuck. If you don't know why they have a certain answer, make sure you ask. And Go from there. Oh, did I mess up something? Let me see. What did I do wrong? It says at least one of your variables answers incorrect. So independent variable choose throughout the year, right? Certain days, unless it's all days. Oh, so it's all days. So why is that all days? I should have read the problem, I guess. The data table contains a portion of data available average daily high temperatures throughout the year in a certain city. So these are average, I guess, because it says average daily high. So that word right there, average, it probably why it allows your domain to be all days. So it says on average. I know the way it's set up, I would initially have thought certain days. But once again, you'll see those things that they're expecting of you as you go throughout the problems. And, you know, get it right, get it wrong. And then once you get it right, you know what the problem is actually, or what the computer is actually, not computer, but the program is actually asking of you, and go from there. Questions, concerns,
It just gives you like 2 or 3 chances to get it right, and then if you
Yeah.
get it wrong, then they're like, move on, pretty much.
Yeah, yep. And then, but and then if you want to get it right, you can always go back and get those points.
Okay.
Just take a screenshot of what you did. I mean, take a picture of what you did and just remember it for the next time or write it down. And then should be good to go. I see people are going in and knocking this stuff out, but just make sure you take note of what they're asking of you so that, when you eventually do a test, and when we do a test, I'll create a review for you as well. That will be very similar to the test. Just take note of what they're asking of you so that when you do the test, you won't, you wouldn't have forgotten the things that they want you to do.
The tests, are they going to be like this? Like we're going to all sit like this and we'll be prompted through that way? Or is it like you go into the math lab and you already have like an exam through there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would create an exam in my math lab.
Okay.
And then, we're proctored through that. So I wouldn't send you guys anywhere else or create a whole nother program or anything.
And we have
for
to
you
sit
guys
on
go through.
Zoom for that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that would be the day that, most people during lecture times, I can't see them or whatever, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But on a proctored day, I would need to see everybody.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So anything else? Anybody else? That's really chapter 1. If you check out something in chapter 1 and you and it's an issue, make sure you bring it to my attention. Outside of the Excel stuff, we know it's an issue because we're trying to get everybody in there. But I'm just talking about even the topical things.
Okay.
Make sure you guys, try the stuff out, see if you have questions so we can work it out in front of, the class. Now, if you just want to keep it private, that's fine as well. Shoot me an email. But if you don't mind and you don't mind sharing your questions with the rest of the class, I'm pretty sure they'll benefit from it as well.
Yeah.
And, we can work it out from there.
Right.
We ran past time. Y'all just a great class. Y'all just sitting here 4 minutes past. Time to let y'all out.
I mean, I don't think we have anything else to do. I think we're,
So,
but okay, definitely go in though and do chapter 1, all of chapter 1 pretty much. So
yeah. So, yep, try the stuff out. See if you get stuck. I need to go ahead and get off so I can get to this next class.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, right?
All
So
right.
if y'all have any issues, shoot me an email. If not, wait, hold up. This is weekend. Yeah, so y'all have a great weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You too.
Yep, and I'll see you guys on Monday.
Okay, cool. Bye, guys. Have a good weekend.
All right.
All right.
See ya.
Bye. Good luck with the homework. Bye, guys.
Bye.